even though it seems to have blasted past its original projections, this thing only pulled down $43 million this weekend
So
on it
bad.
on
Yeah, it's
its
not good at all.
$200 million budget for just product. Oh no, sorry, $120 million. We think it's getting closer to $200 million with the marketing because we know the marketing was insane on this movie.
Yeah.
They tried to pump it. Barbie's success does not help this movie. Does
Doesn't.
not help Warner Brothers.
It does not.
Hey, but it beat Barbie at the box office. Oh my
By
god!
what? A sandwich?
In its fourth week of release.
Now, granted, the marketing for this film was horrid.
Yeah.
Horrid. Whoever the marketing, fire them all. They shouldn't have pushed this as Latin American, all that crap. No, they should have just pushed it as what it was, a family movie with a superhero. They should have just pushed it like that. But marketing has derailed this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Marketing has
Which is-
derailed this movie.
That's a symptom of a lot of movies these days.
Yeah.
Either the marketing or the cast. Now, the cast is not an issue these days because they're on they're
It's
on
a
muzzled because of the
beautiful thing.
strikes.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Imagine if George Lopez hadn't been muzzled right now, and he had been able to do interviews for this. That might have made it worse.
That would
Oh,
have been
poor
terrible.
George.
Go ahead, Jay.
Oh, I don't want to put words in your mouth, Dre, but from the way that you're describing Blue Beetle, it sounds very similar to how I felt about Shazam. I don't know if you felt the same way about Shazam, but yeah,
Yes.
it was just a dumb, fun movie. The script is bonkers. It doesn't work. It's a B movie script at best.
At best.
But at some of the characters were entertaining. It sounds a lot like my perspective on Shazam. And if DC had kept up with that, I think they could have lasted a little bit longer. But are you excited? Are you excited to see Blue Beetle as the first superhero in the new DCU?
I don't even know what the DCU is anymore.
That's a good question. That's
Same
our next question.
You're
What
welcome.
is the DCU? What is going on with this? This movie, they keep
Lies.
saying it's supposed to be facilitating this. It can work anyway.
It references Snyderverse, from what I understand.
Yeah, I mean, here's James Gunn claims he fired Henry Cavill because of age, but now I was never making a young Superman movie. The rumors surrounding Gal Gadot and her being Wonder Woman, which they're trying to debunk, but then why did she talk about it multiple times in 2 weeks like it was happening? What is going on here with this?
No one knows. No one knows what's going on. Like they proclaim that Blue Beetle is going to be the first DCU show now, and movie. And literally, I just I wait till the end credits for all the films anyway.
I sit all the way through as well, just to make sure I catch
Nothing leads to anything.
Yeah,
except a sequel where Ted Kord is still alive, which I honestly would like to see. I like Ted Kord; he's my favorite Blue Beetle. So that is
a large opinion, a big opinion of a lot of people. Yeah, people said they wanted a Ted Kord movie. Why are we going to Jaime?
They had time to use the Flash. There were rumors forever that the Flash was going to be used as the reboot for the DC universe. They had the opportunity. They were filming that end credit scene mere months before it came out, like after James Gunn took over. So why didn't he just have his Flash in a different universe? Like, it was all there.
Jed, you make the perfect point. It's the lowest hanging fruit of a solution.
It is. It's lazy.
Flashpoint.
It's stupid.
It's Flashpoint. Why was it the first movie released this summer and it's massive loss? Then we have this thing with Blue Beetle. We don't know what it is, and Aquaman is still to come. Aquaman 2 is still happening in December.
I don't know how that movie's going to do. Like, part of me is like, Jason Momoa, just like the first one, is going to do well. Then there's the Amber Heard stuff, and then there's DC State. I have no idea how to predict how well that movie's going to do.
Honestly, there's no predicting. There's only one thing I can predict. I will say right now, I think I've already said it, but I'm going to be a little more definitive in my statement. The ensemble Superman he is putting together, I don't see how that's going to work.
Mm-mm.
Why in a Superman movie are you putting in other superheroes?
There's many of them.
I know, and you do. You do that when you have a hero that needs a little propping up, that isn't well known, so you bring a little pizzazz. This is Superman, one of the top 3 most famous superheroes of all time, next to Batman and Spider-Man. One of the most recognizable icons in pop culture history. You don't need to bring in elements of the Justice Society. You don't need Guy Gardner, even though it's played by Nathan Fillion, who everybody really wants to see as something in this. It doesn't matter. And then I said this earlier, you risk with the dude who they've hired to be Superman, who is not, again, I said go unknown, but they didn't, in my opinion, they didn't nail it with this guy. Not at all. You risk having Nathan Fillion steal the movie with his charisma and his beloved status in the nerd sphere. You risk it because Nathan Fillion's old hat at this stuff. He knows how to work it. He's wanted to be a Green Lantern. People wanted him to be Hal, but now he's going to be Guy Gardner.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because he's been Hal Jordan for many years now.
In the
animated films.
Yeah. So you the whole thing risks, and then you add in a bunch of other stuff. It's just it risks it poorly. So I wonder what are they doing? Where are they going from? Because then you see something like this too. Again, we're still abounding into comics because they collected it nicely. James Gunn promotes Kelly Sue DeConnick's Wonder Woman queer history rewrite. Says it's breathtaking and beautiful.
Oh God.
Is this where we're going with his Game of Thrones Themyscira show?
Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just some like lesbian medieval fantasy shit. Because that was confirmed in the comics that Wonder Woman had lots of gay sex on the Themyscira.
As opposed to or actual origin, or and even Gal Gadot's version, where she was thirsty for that Trevor D. She was
now there's trans people on the island, trans Amazonians.
Stop talking, please.
And there's Nubia in there as well.
Oh yeah, we can't forget Nubia. And I don't know. But it's just
Okay, this is gonna hurt my head.
Deep.
They do know at Themyscira, the Amazons are sisters. Do they understand that? Do they understand that they are family?
I don't think
it's all in the family.
Am I retarded?
I think they changed that because they're with Nubia in those comics, the pieces that I've seen, these people are born from they're reincarnated through this pool of water, and so they're not actually siblings anymore. I haven't read the comic, so I could be 100% wrong, but that was the impression I got.
I believe I've heard that as well. Heard that as well.
And that's been the case for a while, I think. And I think it's confirmed Wonder Woman will not be in this show. So
no, she isn't.
So it's going to be Game of Thrones lesbian orgies on an island. Who's going to be the antagonist if they're just on the Themyscira?
I don't know. Maybe.
So they're going to tell a story about Themyscira that's before Wonder Woman is born.
I think it's after she leaves for the human world.
No one cares about Themyscira with no Wonder Woman. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. Okay. Yep. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about Krypton without Superman. Nobody cares about Gotham without Batman. All right.
All those shows failed.
We've got shows to prove it.
Krypton failed. Gotham failed.
Failed
miserably.
And now you're gonna make a Themyscira show with no Wonder Woman. What is going on? No, screw it. Let's make a Star City without Green Arrow. Let's make Central City without the Flash. Screw it. Let's just go nuts.
They're always doing that. We're sick of these peripheral superhero shows like Gotham Knights. I know you love that one, Trey. There's just so much, especially with Batman. There's so many peripheral Batman shows, like the Alfred show. There's just so much. Just give us the heroes we like. There's a reason they're popular. I don't know how these people who are so corporate minded and so detached from fandom can fundamentally misunderstand that things are successful, choose successful things. It's baffling to me that these businessmen at the top are greenlighting. Oh, people like Batman. What if we had a retarded girl version of Batman? People will love that, obviously.
Or a fake adopted son. Okay, I've said this 1,000 times. I don't get it. And These people are allergic to money. We already know that. We know they're allergic to money.
Yes.
Here's the kicker. We've shown now everything has fallen apart in front of them, especially this year. The 2023, year of the collapse of film. Period.
We predicted it.
In 100 years, people are going to look back and say, this was the great collapse. This is the year. And you mean to tell me, despite the fact that everything is bombing except for two things, I am going to continue with a plan that will not give me success? That's insanity. Hey, we're gonna okay, all this LGBT whatever things don't sell. Got it. Let's do it anyway. Like, what are you? I don't.
It's ideology. It's ideology. They are locked into it. They can't escape it. They owe everything to it. And if they break from the dogma in their religion, because it's a religion at this point, you are automatically an apostate and you believe in the other thing. You can't have any slight dissent in the opinion on all that stuff. So they're all in on it. And a lot of them, they are psychotically indoctrinated. They believe this shit. They believe in more diversity, more inclusion. They think that people are being chased down streets because of their skin color and sexuality by the far right, the dangerous far right. Let's be honest. The far right, as it exists, is off in the fucking wilderness, wanting to be left alone as much as anybody else.
Yep, correct.
That's where they are. They think they're sitting there waiting for everything to fall apart so they can have their own little fiefdoms. But they're not doing that. The ones who are making trouble are the psychos who are still pushing for Marxist leftism. And we don't want to get too political, but that's the truth of it. That is the foundation for woke. That is the foundation for SJWism. That's what it's all based on. Those are the people pulling the strings behind all of this. And in that religion, you must completely adhere to it all. And therefore, you're going to keep swinging. And they're also weighed down by the belief of, even though it failed, we'll get it right next time.
And that's the part that keeps driving me nuts, because it keeps failing. It keeps failing. And in any other line of work or thought or purpose, logistically speaking, you will make a change, even if it's minute. Frasier is one of my favorite shows of all time.
Oh, I love Frasier.
Love Frasier. One of my favorite shows of all time.
I love
Me and my old man used to watch that show together. And there was one episode in which Frasier was talking about taking a leap, because it was a leap year. It was like February, the last day of February. It was a leap year. And he told everybody to take a leap, do something new, do something crazy, do something that you wouldn't do. Throughout the episode, all of his friends, all of his family, all of their leaps failed. All of them failed. And then Roz comes to him and says, hey, aren't you supposed to be singing that new song that you weren't going to do? He looked at her and said, it is a fool that doesn't learn from his own mistakes, but it is a complete imbecile who doesn't learn from everyone else's. The principle remains the same. Everyone that has pushed this ideological nonsense or whatever, woke agenda, whatever this and all this stuff, and everyone has regurgitated it and has refused to eat. Here comes Warner Brothers, whoever, fill in the blank, and says, I'm going to try that. It's insanity. I can't.